My topic will be sampling in endophthalmitis, and I think it's very important because endophthalmitis, as we all know, can be it could be due to post-operative, post-traumatic, or endogenous reasons, and it may involve bacteria, viruses, fungi, acanthamoeba, or biofilms. And the sampling becomes important because 5.2% cases have vancomycin resistant bacteria, and there is an increased tendency of fungal infections these days. And also, even if we do a primary surgery, it's a poor visual outcome in multi-drug resistant endophthalmitis, and recurrences are common. So if we know what exactly is the cause of the endophthalmitis, we can treat it specifically. And that's why sampling carries a very important role in the management of endophthalmitis patients. So sampling material, you can have an aqueous tap using a 26 gauge needle mounted on a tuberculin syringe. You can have a vitreous tap with using a 22 to 26 gauge needle, again on a 2 ml syringe, a vitreous biopsy taken with a vitrectomy aspiration cutter, or a vitrectomy fluid sample which can be collected during pars plana vitrectomy. So this is the video I borrowed from Dr. Manisha. For an AC tap in a patient who had endophthalmitis, how to do it. So once you put the drops, the anesthetic drops, and then you enter the anterior chamber at the limbus, and using a 1 cc tuberculin syringe, you just withdraw a fluid sample to this, and then you take the needle out. And the problem is that aqueous tap, because it's very low quantity, a very low sample is obtained. For this, I had also devised another method of taking this aqueous tap. Here, what we have done is we have taken a suction cap from a nasal dropper, and we have connected it to a 2 ml syringe. And then this 2 ml syringe is again fixed to a 26 gauge needle. So what happens is you just have to, there's a small hole in the bulb which acts as a safety valve. And this vacuum is created by pressing the bulb after covering the hole. And once you release the suction bulb, the fluid can be aspirated when pressure is released from the suction bulb. And this demonstrates how it is done. You just insert the 26 gauge needle at the limbus, and you just release the pressure, and you can see that the fluid collects into the syringe, and then this fluid is sent for a microbiology sample. You can inoculate this fluid directly after removing the 26 gauge needle on the blood agar plates or other sampling or other culture media directly in the operation theater itself. Now, this is a small video showing how to take a vitreous tap. Although these days we don't advocate taking a direct vitreous tap, because just pulling at the vitreous may cause unsafe vitreoretinal traction on the retina and may lead to retinal breaks and other complications. But just to show how to take it, again, 24 gauge needle is being used here. 24 gauge needle is inserted into the vitreous cavity, and 2 ml, and the vitreous fluid is withdrawn into a 2 ml syringe. Again, you can send this for the culture and the gram staining. Again, this is another method which we do a vitreous biopsy, and we can inject the intravitreal antibiotic at the same time. So this is how you prepare an intravitreal antibiotic beforehand. You dissolve the vancomycin in 5 ml of sterile water. This is 500 milligram of vancomycin in 5 ml of sterile water, making it 100 milligrams in 1 ml. After that, you take 0.1 ml of this solution, and then you dilute this 0.1 ml solution to 1 ml with the distilled water, and that gives you the 1 milligram in 0.1 ml. So you inject 0.1 ml of this solution in the syringe. So your vancomycin is ready. Then you similarly you prepare for your ceftazidime and a dexamethasone injection. Take a 1000. This is a 1000 milligram vial of ceftazidime and dexamethasone, which is 4 milligrams in 1 ml. And you again take 4 ml of sterile water, and then you dissolve the ceftazidime injection in 4 ml of the sterile water. Then withdraw 0.09 ml of the solution. This is just 1 point below the 1.1 ml marking of the tuberculin syringe. And then you dilute this one with dexamethasone up to 1 ml. So that will give you a concentration of the adequate concentration of ceftazidime and dexamethasone mixture in 0.1 ml. So just inject 0.1 ml of this solution. Now when your antibiotic is ready, what you do is you take a, while in this vitrectomy tubing, you connect this 3-port with the third extra port is kept as closed. Now you insert a 27 gauge trocar cannula temporally. You can do it either in topical anesthesia or a peripulpal anesthesia, and you cut and aspirate the vitreous till hypotony occurs and the cornea sinks a little bit. So this aspirate collects in the collection in the vitreous tube in the tubing. Now you inject intravitreal injections through this sclerotomy port only. So both the vancomycin and ceftazidime dexamethasone mixture is injected and the sutureless closure is done. And now you just open the third, you connect a 1 ml tuberculin syringe to this port, and you can withdraw the aspirated fluid into this 1 ml syringe. This gives you an adequate sample and also prevents any vitreoretinal traction on the which is caused by direct aspiration using the syringe. And then this can be sent to lab for testing. Last is a collection of vitrectomy fluid. From here, what I use is a sterile bottle, 500 ml bottle can be used. You can see it is sealed and it has been made sterile. And you connect a IV set to this here, and then you put a 20 gauge needle in the other part, and you remove the bag of the vitrectomy machine and connect this IV set to this machine, and you can see the vitrectomy fluid is collecting into the bottle. So you get a good amount of vitrectomy fluid sample while you are doing vitrectomy into this bottle. Then you can centrifuge the bottle and send it for a culture. So the main investigations that are required will be gram stain, KOH, bacterial culture and culture sensitivity, and fungal culture sensitivity. And there have been studies in the past which show that vitreous fluid and vitrectomy fluid are the most sensitive samples. Aqueous fluid does not give you that highly positive results as compared to the vitreous fluid, and vitrectomy positive in about 75 to 90% of cases. So take-home message is vitreous fluid is the best sample for culture in clinically diagnosed endophthalmitis, and gram stain and KOH are beneficial investigations which provide results within no time.